Hello and welcome to another episode of the IA podcast. Today we have with us Mr. Kamalakar, who is the founder of MicroNsure. And today we will be discussing with him about the concept of financial inclusion and microinsurance. Mr. Kamalakar, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Nilanjan, for inviting me. And it's a good opportunity for us to build a large microinsurance enterprise in the country. The tremendous MicroNsure is a company that's been incorporated in July 2020, and it is 3-in-1. Specifically, it's into consulting, technology, and distribution in the microinsurance space. We work in the segment where people earn between 100,000 to 300,000 rupees a year. And at present, we have around 15 lakh customers. And just for an information, we were awarded the best startup in the insurance space by the Government of India for 2022 on 16 Jan 23, which is a National Startup Day. Thank you for calling me again.
Pleasure. And I think it's very encouraging to know the kind of work that you're doing. And that brings me to the first question. What is the real concept of financial inclusion? Why is it important for a country like India?
Financial inclusion basically refers to the accessibility and availability of financial services to all individuals. Unfortunately, in the Indian landscape, what happens is the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. So the rich people always have got this advantage of all the opportunities that the government provides or the society provides, whereas the poor people are excluded from these formal methods of savings. So effectively, financial inclusion provides this opportunity for these people to come out of poverty, basically because using the entire gamut of financial services that an country can provide. For example, banking, insurance, other forms of saving in a very formalized structure.
How does microinsurance contribute to financial inclusion? What are your thoughts about it?
Yeah. So microinsurance plays a pivotal role in achieving financial inclusion by providing affordable and accessible insurance products to low-income people. So as we said, MicroNsure, for example, works in the segment where people earn between 100,000 to 300,000 rupees. Unfortunately, for many years, this segment of the population has been sold traditional insurance plans, for 20 years, 25 years at 30,000, 35,000 rupees, or maybe 15, 20,000 rupees average premiums. Unfortunately, what happens is that that segment of the population cannot afford these particular premiums. So the premium ranges should be somewhere between 300, 400, and it should cover all the gamuts of the risk that these people undergo. The types of risk that the people undergo is basically because of the 5 Ds that we always talk about in insurance, which is disease, death, dismemberment, disability, or destitution. So microinsurance actually acts as a gateway to other financial products like asset protection and other things. So this is the basic definition of microinsurance.
Sure. And I think it's good to know that companies like yours are trying hard to manage these kind of challenges that are there and ensure better financial inclusion, because I think the problems are very different for an urban individual who's earning much more and somebody maybe in a smaller town or a village. And I mean, for them it becomes almost impossible to fathom the complexity of insurance. So considering that you're working on this, can you also share some success stories of how microinsurance has helped individuals or community achieve financial inclusion?
So, for example, what we have done is we started a campaign only in Hyderabad city called I2U2. That means insurance to urban underprivileged. Now, who are we trying to cover? These are the people who are like, servant maids, drivers, let us say gardeners, then security guards, then all the gig workers, basically, whoever are there. So what we have done is we created specific products for this segment of the society, and we have gone through housing associations. Let us say there is a housing association which has maybe around 200, 300 flats. The 300 flats will have effectively around maybe 250 servant maids and let's say 300 to 400 drivers, around 1,000 population which are in this segment. Now, these 1,000 people are never covered. So what we have done is we have gone to the society association and said, why don't you as an association provide security to these people, because they will stick to you. Because once they believe you, you're paying them a salary, you just have to pay a little extra. What is that little extra? It is 500 rupees per year, let us say, if you want to add some protection plan or a PA cover or a hospicash or a simple critical illness rider, or maybe some of the very small products if you want to, it will come to around 1,000 rupees, let's say on the maximum side. So 1,000 rupees on a pay, let us say we pay to our driver, let us say around 15,000 rupees a month. So let's say 1,80,000. On that another 1,000 rupees to be paid by the owner, I don't think is a very costly proposition for him. The loyalty increases tremendously, and the person also, if there is an incident that happens in the society, and the society is able to take care of that particular member of that that means a person in that particular society, then automatically all the people will come to know. And then so we are now working in this segment. We have nearly around 100 societies on the platform. Technology provides an easy access to that. So around 100 societies are there on the platform, and nearly around, let us say, around 15,000 people are serviced through this platform. So that is one segment. Second segment, what we can talk about is we went to schools, private schools in this area where people are actually, where fees are around 20,000, 30,000. The major reason why children drop out of school is because the earning member of the family, unfortunately, has met with some incident. So we told the schools that you take a product and called School Life, we call it School Life in normal terms, and we say, okay, you take this product and we guarantee the child's education from KG to PG, even if something happens to the earning member of the family, either a disease or a disability or something happens and his earning actually stops. So these are two examples which I can quote. There are a number of examples which we can talk about.
Sure. Thank you so much. And I think these are good points that you bring up. So, Mr. Kamalakar, here is the last question that I have for you today. So we talked about a lot of things about financial inclusion, microinsurance, and its role. So, what are some of the key characteristics of microinsurance that actually make it suitable for a low-income population?
So let's say we discussed about the problems. Let's say we said what are the problems that microinsurance, that themselves are the exact opposite of that. If you're able to do, then that becomes an opportunity, and that opportunity can be converted into a good business model. For example, a simple thing like, let's say they want a receipt on time. So if the receipt is technology driven, then they are happy. The trust factor increases. The product pricing suits their pocket. Let's say 300, 400 rupees a year or 1 rupee a thing. Then it should actually cater to the requirements. For example, let's say funeral insurance plan. I'm just giving you an example. A funeral insurance plan is a fast moving product. It's a 9 rupees, 3 rupees, 4 rupees plan. But funeral insurance, unfortunately, we wait for all the documentation to come. So the documentation process should be simplified. The claim settlement process should be fastened, because the maximum claim that we pay in these segments is maybe around 40,000 rupees, that too on the life protection side. So how fast we are able to deliver the services to them is the question. Now, 90% of these people are on social media. So we can use the social media tools to get insurance to them, make them aware of the various products and processes that are available. So these are the 5 things. Basically, the same things what we talked about as problems: affordability, trust, simplified documentation, quick processing, early claim settlement, quick claim settlement, and simple process on their fingertips.
So just one add-on question here: how supportive are primary insurers about the kind of products that you go back to them to design?
See, I have spoken to a lot of insurance companies for this particular segment. Some of them strategically are very much inclined to this, and they provide the desired products and process which are there for this, which are required for this segment. So those are the people whom we work with. Some of them are still, looking at this segment in the testing the waters. But I believe that if the insurance penetration has to increase from the existing 3% GDP to a larger 6%, 7% GDP, which has been set by the regulator, the only possible way, one of the possible ways of doing it is to service this segment, which is around 70 crore population. And if my belief is right, if somebody can do the maths, it will be another 100,000 crore premium. So I don't know how we are able to miss it.
No, excellent. Quite important points. So, sir, the last question from my side would be a message to IA and its members. How do you think IA can continue to collaborate with the larger insurance and insurtech community?
We joined IA last year sometime, if I remember right, and we are very happy to be a part of IA. We have been getting some very relevant feedback in various forums, and the podcast especially, I listen to all of them, and whatever IA material that comes in, it's quite informative. But I suggest that this is just a suggestion. What I believe is that this segment requires a different, let us say, gene pool. Okay, unless the segment, so maybe in the IA there could be a separate team which exclusively works on this segment, and then builds in the products and processes which are suitable for that. So that is my only request. I think if you club it with the main insurance companies, because everybody has got certain plans, and then the microinsurance segment may not fit into that particular plan. So my belief is, if the IA association has some sort of a sub-segment which basically works on this, then it's got a very nice opportunity to build it.
Sure. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your feedback. So we will be in touch with you and let you know what we are doing in this regard. And that's all that we have time for today. Wishing you all a good night.
and thank you very much, India InsurTech Association, and all the good wishes to all of you.